Thank you very much, Maria, Rosa, and a good afternoon to everybody. It's a real pleasure to be here today. I'm representing both the GSMA and the Equals Global Partnership for Digital Gender Equality, which, as you may be aware, is the largest international platform that brings together the public and private sectors to bridge the digital gender divide. And as others have mentioned, I'm obviously particularly pleased to be taking part in the discussions on International Girls in ICT Day, which I understand today is the 10th anniversary of that initiative, which is very encouraging. For GSMA and for Equals, the topic of gender-based diversity in tech forms a key pillar of all our work to promote and advance digital gender equality. So as a co-founder of Equals, GSMA has always had a strong commitment to driving change on behalf of the mobile industry and striving for the full realization of women and girls as equals in the digital economy. In 2016, we led the mobile industry to become the first sector to commit to the UN Sustainable Development Goals, including SDG 5 on gender equality. And we solidified that commitment further in 2019 when we signed the UN Women Empowerment Principles. These outline the business case for corporate action to promote gender equality and women's empowerment. So the mobile industry realizes the economic and social benefits that increasing female leadership and representation in ICT industries can deliver, and many mobile operators are already taking decisive action to level the playing field. However, as we have already discussed, many challenges remain before we can fully realize this goal, and there's some recent really stark statistics which put into perspective just how far we have to go. For example, the recent 2020 State of Women in Tech and Startups survey, which is carried out by Women Who Tech, found that 70% of women working in tech feel they've been treated differently at work owing to their gender, while only 11% of men feel this way. Among leadership positions in the ICT industry, only 24% are held by women. And according to data from the World Economic Forum, less than a third of female students choose to study higher education courses in subjects like maths and engineering, which of course results in women being underrepresented in STEM fields in general. And turning our attention to Europe specifically, according to 2019 data released by the Commission, while women account for more than half of the European population, only around 17% of the ICT specialists are women. Other striking stats include that women working in ICT earn almost 20% less than men. Only 19% of European ICT entrepreneurs are women, and 93% of capital invested in European companies in 2019 went to all male founding teams. So in the Me Too era, such statistics speak to the growing need for really bold and decisive action to bridge the digital gender divide in tech. That's precisely why last year, GSMA and Equals, in partnership with Ernst & Young, Oslo Metropolitan University, UC Berkeley, and the Universities of Pennsylvania and Washington, undertook the task of quantifying the differences between men's and women's perceptions of leadership attributes and behaviors in the mobile and tech industries. Our study also considered how the gender gap in leadership is affected by perceptions of power. Some of the most notable conclusions from the report were that women identify as transformational leaders to a much greater extent than men. They also perceive themselves as concerned with others' abilities and others' desires to succeed to a much greater extent than men. And women often perceive themselves as exhibiting more effective leadership traits than men, which can only serve to advance a business strategy or vision, as we've already discussed. The study recommends that we need to acknowledge the different range of transformational leadership styles. We need to provide incentives to female leaders so they can develop effective leadership skills. We need to invest more in mentorship and training programs. And we need to increase research into and spread awareness of the factors that really affect leadership equity and fairness. So what does all this mean? It means that driving change cannot be just about fulfilling quotas. We need to ensure that women are truly in positions of power, so we can not only attract, but also retain female talent at the top in the sector. This is why GSMA and Equals have also recently embarked on a 3-year project funded by the EU Horizon 2020 programme, which looks to build gender equity in social innovation and entrepreneurship. Specifically, the project aims to raise awareness of the gender gap in innovation, involve young people in the innovation ecosystem, increase the number of female innovators in Europe, and contribute to wider EU objectives by better matching skills to jobs. To conclude, I'd like to make a final point that the gender digital divide is of great concern to the private sector, both as members of the global community and, of course, for the negative effect it has on potential revenues and business success, as others have mentioned. Companies are well suited to apply creativity, innovation, and resources to deploy connectivity solutions and services on the global scale to help bridge the digital gender gap. As an example from the mobile sector, through the GSMA's Connected Women Commitment Initiative, mobile operators are rising to the challenge to address the mobile gender gap. Since 2016, 40 operators have made formal commitments to accelerate digital and financial inclusion for women across Africa, Asia, and Latin America. And so far, they have reached over 39 million additional women with mobile internet and mobile money services. This just goes to show the power of working together to ensure that women are not left behind. Remember, when women thrive, societies, businesses, and economies thrive. Thank you very much, and I look forward to our continued discussions.